What's up, guys? Jeremy here, Consciousness Awake. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing good. In this video, I want to uh, talk about a recent out of body experience that I had. Um, I I did do a journal entry. Well, it's kind of I printed out I printed out my journal entry, but it's kind of disorganized. It's not really super organized. And I was just kind of looking through it right now before I hit the record button. And I think a lot of it's on here. But the key thing is me just trying to truly express, for the most part, what this particular astral being told me in our conversations, mainly about what Earth is, from this astral being's perspective, information that this astral being has, what Earth is, how it started, and then some information on just in general about reptilians. And so after my OBE experience, I did, I think, for the most part, have pretty good memory recall of the experience and put down a lot of the key things into a journal entry on the computer. And so now I can just print it out and kind of like remember most of it and express most of it as accurate as possible. But actually, looking at this right now, I'm realizing that I'm thinking I forgot a couple things, but I'll try to work those things into the video so that I can get as much information to you as possible from my experience. So, you know, so this being, his name is Ara. Okay, it is said just like that. Ara, Ara, and so how it happened was I was sleeping in the living room on August 4th, a few weeks ago. It was right around 6 in the morning. It was during the day. It becomes the daylight kicks on here in Oregon in the summer really early. Um, and what happened was I was sleeping in my recliner, and I woke up thinking that I had woken up normally, but actually, as I came to and became aware and conscious, I just realized that my physical body was still totally asleep, and it was paralyzed. And behind me, there's this like it sounded like a wooden stick, like banging on the ground, pow, 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 just like that, like that kind of speed or rhythm, I should say, pow, pow, pow. I can hear this like uh, kind of this old man voice. This old man whispering kind of voice that even sounded like he was drunk or something. It was just really, really, really strange. Just randomness, right? But I think that possibly that whatever that was probably real, and it was just some random being just kind of wandering through and maybe even messing with me, right? But it woke me up, and I became consciously aware while my body was asleep. And so when I have these experiences, I immediately move away from my physical body as quickly as possible, and I go outside. If it's nighttime, I go outside. It's nighttime. It's dark. If it's daylight, I go outside, and it's daylight. Um, and so I go outside, and what's beautiful is, I've mentioned this before in my videos, you can see all the stars, constellations, planets, especially Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Mars. You can see everything in the daylight when you're out of your body. And then I see this pulse of light, like a beam of light. Like imagine lightning flashing, but without the thunder sound. And it's like coming down. It's right above my head. not directly above my head, but kind of near above me, directly above me. And I see these like almost like a flashlight turning off and on. Maybe that might be a good way of explaining it. Beams of light turning off and on, shining down. And then I hear, which I usually don't. Usually, most of my astral projection experiences throughout my life. I mean, there's been a few, but it's rare. But where another being is actually trying to call my name, because in a lot of out of body experiences, I've experimented with, calling other names myself and projecting it out, right? But this was different. This being was just, it wasn't saying Jeremy, it was saying Jeremiah. And it kept saying Jeremiah, Jeremiah. It was like luring me, calling on me. It was really interesting. And I see the flashes of light, the pulsations of light, so I just go straight towards the light, just moving fastest speed of light, moving faster than the speed of light, who knows. And I basically end up, I believe I shot into the astral planes level either 2 or 3, the second or third plane. I'm not exactly sure. Forgive me. But I think it was the third level. And then I went through like a little, like kind of a void kind of thing. And then all of a sudden I'm flying down into this huge area, this world with just like really kind of murky, dark blue ocean water. Not a lot of waves or anything. It almost looked like a lake, to be honest with you, just like little ripples, little tiny waves. But I don't know. It was really vast, so I'm assuming it was like an ocean kind of thing. And then there was this really big island, just in the water. And as I come down closer and closer, I can see there's like all these little villages and astral beings, astral wildlife, just all kinds of stuff, on this island. And at the very top of the island, there's this huge white mansion sitting on the top. And I come down, I get down to ground level where the streets, the road is. I'm freaking out. These astral beings, just random astral beings, just doing their normal thing in that world, freaking them out, and they're like, "Wow, How are you flying? How are you? What's going on here?" And then there's other beings like frowning at me and saying I should go back to where I came from and all this kind of stuff. That happens a lot in astral projections. And then I'm looking down this road and I hear my name again, Jeremiah. Kind of a whispery, but real strong. You can like really hear it. And I see just again this like just like a whitish but more like silver kind of beam of light coming down onto the road directly in front of me, and a lot of colors like of the spectrum kind of like on the sides of it, so like there's like a beam of light coming down and there's like all these colors and things around it, and then all of it just kind of morphs into this being that looks like just like a genie, like a genie looking kind of a taller kind of being. No feet, no feet at all, just from like maybe the knees going up, long white hair, big eyes that were like really like bluish, like light blue. But then as I got closer to this being, and we started to converse, what I noticed is the colors of his eyes would shift from the bluish to reddish. And it's almost like it went back and forth, red, blue, red, blue. It was very noticeable, is what I should say. Okay, so anyways, yeah. So I had the journal entry that I had done on my computer, and I printed out those notes. I printed out the journal entry, and the main reason why I have this is because I don't want to forget something, and I want to kind of like from here on out in this video, I'm just going to talk about what Ada said about planet Earth, about reptilians, a few different things. And so the first thing I remember in the conversation is that Ada um, was saying that he avoided, and I say he because it seemed like a masculine figure, he avoided reincarnation 7 times. That's what I distinctly remember him saying. He avoided it 7 times, and that he has been residing in this world, in this astral world that he had started a long time ago. He's just existing there. Not that there's a calendar there on the wall or anything. Just existing there for a long time. Um, and he said that he's basically like the god of his world, and that all these beings that were in the villages and the workers and all these random people that I saw as I got there, they um, uh, basically worship him as a god. So yeah, very interesting. Not surprising, obviously. And so he was talking about reptilians and about Earth, and those are really the two things that stand out from my interactions with Ada and the conversation. I'm going to kind of go over some of the stuff that I wrote down in my journal entry now, so that I can kind of like express that as best as I can. So when it comes to reptilians, and now again, I'm just middlemaning information here from the experience within itself because I thought it was interesting. I don't believe everything here that Ada told me, and then I'll get to my conclusion about Ada when I'm done with what he was talking about. And again, there's a couple things on here I probably forgot about or didn't put on here, so forgive me. But most of it's here. So reptilians. He is talking about how the reptilian beings exist in 6D, 6th density, 5th density, 4th density, and 3rd density, our physical density. Surprise, surprise, right? As he talked about them, basically, essentially, he was saying that the 6D reptilian beings are a little shorter, they're more intelligent, spiritually evolved, etc. They don't need to eat, they don't need to feed or eat or any of those types of things. They're self-sustaining. And then the 5D, all the different planes and the structure of the astral planes in the 5th dimension, that they are mostly good, good intentioned reptilian beings, but there's some bad ones mixed in here and there. They're spiritually advanced. They can astrally project. Most of them, they can shapeshift and morph into different types of beings, and that they're in their true form. They're more like 10 to 12 feet tall. Then in 4D, they become more animalistic. And that this stood out to me because this number was the same for the 3D reptilian beings as was the 4D, 4th density reptilian beings. But Otto was saying that there's about 10,000 reptilian beings in the 4th dimension, 4D, which I refer to as the etheric realm, the etheric plane. And they're mostly they're kind of split bad and good. Bad tendencies or good good intentions. Not all of them are bad, and that they're also about 8, 10, 12 feet tall or taller. And then 3D, 3rd density reptilian beings. He talks about here, and then about Earth. When he talks about Earth and how Earth started. There's more tie into that the 3D, 4D reptilians, and I'll get to that in a second. In 3D, he said there's about 10,000 reptilian beings. They're really tall, over 10 feet tall. They're more predator-like and very animalistic, but also very intelligent. Not as much spiritually based, but just intelligent. Experienced, intelligent, but there's still that animalistic tendencies, which he kept referring to animalistic style kind of behaviors. And he said there's about 10,000 of them that live inside the Earth, and they feed on humans. They are the real predator of humanity, nothing else. And that 500,000 humans are eaten or their organs are harvested by these taller 3D reptilians that are inside the Earth. Do I agree with all of that? Not, I mean, some of it makes sense, but again, I'm just, expressing the experience and an interesting experience with an astral being that seemed very advanced, almost like an ascended master. Okay, an ascended master kind of astral being, and what this being was saying to me. Um, so let me continue here. So Ada, when he talked about Earth, I'll just go through this real quick so this video doesn't get too long. He's saying that Earth is actually a world in the lower astral planes, possibly, but we can have a conversation about that another time. He also said that a being named Amand, I believe that's what it was, Amand, created Earth. He said that Amand was Ra's spiritual master. So Ra, like in ancient Egypt, Ra, so Amand was the spiritual master of Ra. And he said that he made Earth 26,000 years ago. This reality construct, of this physical world we're in third density, that Amand was the one who created 26,000 years ago. He says that the pyramids were started when the Earth started. And the pyramids all around the world, not just Egypt, but different parts of the world, that they were built as portal devices. Portal devices which were to bring souls into this Earth density, where the souls would be assigned a human body. These souls would wait for months, if not years, because there wasn't enough bodies yet during that time. So they were in like a waiting place or something. It says here, Earth originally, he said, Earth was originally a prison planet, not as much anymore, but it was originally intended as a prison planet for souls who disobeyed Amand. That's what he said. Amand, again, the person who created Earth. And so souls were sent here who disobeyed or didn't agree with Amand. Surprise, surprise, right? Isn't that kind of a story we hear over and over again from stuff? He also said that Ara said that originally humans lived 500 to 1,000 years. There was no such thing as dinosaurs back then, which he was kind of like joking about and stuff. He just said that those came later, but as in made up or something. I don't know. Again, that's speculation. That everyone has their own opinions. I don't know. I'm not believing everything Ara's telling me. Just so you know. And then he said, okay, so about 10,000 years ago, the 4D and 3D reptilian beings came through a mini black hole down to Earth, into the 4D and 3D connected to this reality. They didn't want to disturb the humans with their looks, with their looks. So they created holographic technology to shapeshift and morph themselves. And also it says here that the reptilians do not come out during the day. They don't. I don't know why, but he just says they don't come out. The 3D third density reptilians inside the Earth don't come out during daylight. They only come out at nighttime. And that's what he said. So my conclusion here is, that Ara is demonic. He's I don't know if I want to believe everything that Ara exchanged with me in that conversation. I don't know what to make of it. I'm still mentally processing all of this stuff. And just a way Ara was like luring me to that world and calling my name Jeremiah and all this stuff. It just seems like there's some kind of deception there with this whole interaction with this particular astral being, which again, still I believe is an ascended spiritual master. But just because a being is an ascended spiritual master doesn't mean that they have the best interest or intentions at heart. So I don't know what this whole experience I had, which has been one of the more interesting ones in recent time for me. I really don't know what Ada wants with me. I have no idea. But my conclusion is that Ada, the genie-like being, jinn, right? You think of jinn, right? And the eyes going red, blue, and just how he was trying to give me this information and all this stuff. And I don't know. My conclusion is that this entity is demonic, and I really don't want to have any other interactions in the future with this being. But let me know what you guys think, what your feelings are. And again, if you've run into this Ada, leave it in the comments. Let me know, or send me an email. All right, guys, peace. I'm at 21 minutes, kind of longer video. I'm sorry, just trying to get all this whole experience out in one video. All right, I love you guys. Sending you tons of positive energy, and we'll talk to you very soon. Peace.